Well, let me explain to you Gospel, the gospel, okay? G is that God created you to have a relationship with him. In fact, the Bible says you're fearfully and wonderfully made, that he knitted you together in your mother's womb, right? And that, in fact, he even knows the very number of hairs on your head, okay? But, our sin separates us from God, and the wages of sin is death. The punishment, God's place of punishment, hell, or the lake of fire, okay? S, what is sin? Do you know? What is sin?
It's missing the target.
Right? It means to miss the mark. What is the mark we're missing?
To be more like Jesus.
That's true. He did something. He did this that we haven't done. What is it? Do you know?
He's sinless and he gave him.
Right. So if he's sinless, that means he always did something we've never done. What was that? Do you know? What is the mark? What's the standard that we're not meeting that he did meet?
He was perfect. He never sinned.
What made him perfect? What was that standard he kept? Do you know? I'll give you guys a souvenir. And this way you'll never forget. Okay? There's one for you, and one for you. It's God's laws. Oops. The 10 Commandments. Okay?
Thank you.
For example, the 9th commandment's don't lie. Have you ever lied? How many lies do you think you've told in your lifetime?
Millions.
Right. More than you could probably ever even remember. Have you ever lied to your parents? Right? That means you've broken not only the 9th commandment, don't lie, but the 5th commandment, honor your father and mother. In fact, that's the first commandment, the Bible says, with a promise that if you'll honor your father and mother, it'll be well with you for all your years and that you would live long and prosper. How about the 8th commandment, don't steal? Have you ever taken something that didn't belong to you, like a piece of candy from the store, an answer off somebody else's test, or music off the internet, or things like that didn't belong to you? And if you steal, what does that make you?
That makes sense. Wrong.
Well, yeah, but what do you call someone? If I steal from you, you'd call me if I grabbed your purse and I started running, you'd say, stop.
Thief.
There you go. Thief. So see, the truth is we've all broken God's laws. None of us, the Bible says, is good compared to that standard. Compared to me, you guys are probably wonderful. Compared to Hitler, we all look pretty good. But compared to God's standard of perfection, keeping those commandments, we've missed that mark, right? We've sinned against God. Now, what does a good judge do to a guilty criminal? If you break the law, if you do the crime, you'll do the...
Time.
That's right. Do you think God's good? Right. And like a good judge, then, by all means, he has to punish the guilty, right? Isn't it true your own conscience tells you it's wrong to lie, or wrong to steal, or wrong to dishonor your father and mother? It does, doesn't it? So we would be without an excuse on the day. We can't stand before the judge of the universe and say, I didn't know it was wrong to lie. I didn't know it was wrong to steal. I didn't know it was wrong to dishonor my father and mother. You would have no excuse, and God would have no other alternative than to punish you for the crimes you've committed. And what's his place of punishment? Hell, that's right. But here's the good news. Proving he was God, Jesus performed many miracles. He walked on the water, turned water into wine. He raised the dead, healed the lame, the sick, the blind, okay? He fulfilled all the prophecies that were foretold about the coming of the Messiah. And then he did something awesome. He paid the price for your sin when he died and rose again. It's like being in court and you're guilty as charged and they're hauling you off to do life in prison. If a guy just stepped in the courtroom and said, Judge, here, I'll pay their $1 million fine. Here's $1 million. And the judge says, you're free to go. Justice has been served because your fine's been paid. Now he can set you free. How would you feel towards that guy? Would you be grateful?
Yeah.
That's right. You didn't earn it. You didn't deserve it. You deserve to be punished. But that's what grace means. Grace means unmerited favor, or getting what you don't deserve, right? We broke the law. Jesus paid the fine. And here's the other good part. Everyone that calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. If you'll turn from your sin and you turn to Christ and you surrender, not count on your faithfulness or count on, having him be your best friend, but count on the fact that he died on that cross. He took the punishment on that cross, and have faith that he died and he rose again. Then you can be, redeemed from the curse of the law, Christ having been made the curse for us. But why? Why would God die for you so that you could live? Why would he take your death sentence upon himself?
Because he loves us.
That's right. That's exactly right. There's no greater love than this, than that a man lay down his life for his friends, right? That's what Jesus said. He also said, what? God so loved the world. That's right. That whoever would what?
Believes in him and not perish.
Right. And that original Greek, that word belief, means to put your full faith and trust. Like if you were going to sit down on that bench, you'd have faith and trust it would hold you up. You'd put your faith in that bench, right? It's the same thing with Christ. You have to turn from your sin and turn to Christ. And the reason why God did that, because he loved you. But the question is, what are you going to do?